Hello there, Gemini. Thank you for stopping by for your monthly tarot video forecast for the month of April. What I'm looking at is just one major theme that will be happening for you during the month of April. This is not at all a comprehensive thing for the month. And this is a general reading, so not everything I see here will apply to all Geminis. If you would like to have some specific questions answered or see what's coming up for you, obviously you would want to book a private reading so that I could look at just your energy. Okay, so for the general reading for the month of April, some kind of theme coming through your life, I do have something showing me that in your environment, it seems like there's not a lot of teamwork. And just for the record, environment for me is any place where you have a lot of energy or effort invested, and that can be home, but I have seen it show up as work or school as well. So somewhere where you have a lot of energy or effort invested, I'm just seeing that the teamwork is not really there like you would like to have it. As far as your subconscious leanings, for this particular theme during the month of April, I do see that there's been something you've kind of had an inner conflict about within yourself. This is not about an argument or a disagreement with anybody outside yourself. This is strictly something that's been going back and forth inside of you, and I see that coming to an end through your subconscious leanings. They're kind of, your subconscious is kind of working on, okay, what's the good resolution for this? Now, the next thing that comes up talks to me about your communication style and also your learning style. For your learning style, it looks to me like you like to be organized about whenever you learn new things or whenever you research new things that may not be happening so much as you're going through this particular theme. There may be a lot of chaos as far as what you're learning. You may be getting thrown information kind of pell-mell and having to put things together sort of on the fly. As far as communication style, during this particular life cycle, I see you just kind of cutting through the BS. I don't see a lot of petty talk going on here, not a lot of chit chat. I feel like whatever you're talking about when it relates to this theme, it's important to you. It's information that needs to be shared. And if it's not something that's important and doesn't need to be shared, I really don't see you doing a lot of talking about whatever this theme is that we're looking at here. All right, the next thing that we have does talk about your work. For those of you who haven't seen me before, work can be that way that you make a living, but it also can be those things you're doing to improve your own self, and it can come in either way. If this applies to you, you'll recognize which way it comes in because it'll resonate for you. What I'm seeing about work, though, is okay, so if this is someplace that you make a living, what we're looking at is that you are dealing with somebody there who um, is not a nice person. In fact, the view that I'm being given is of, I think that's A Christmas Carol, the movie with, oh, the guy, Marley, and what's his name, and they had an accounting firm, and one of them died, and one of them was alive, and the one that was alive was just bah humbugging all over the place. This is kind of what I'm seeing is that type of bah humbuggish type of personality that you guys are dealing with at work, Geminis, for those of you that this does apply to in that way. The other way that this can apply, though, is if we're looking at what you're doing about yourself, you could be feeling pretty bah humbug yourself. And I kind of think maybe you are feeling a little bah humbug about life, just, ugh, whatever. Um, and you could be working on coming out of that attitude, coming into a more positive attitude, or your work could be just surviving while you're walking around in that attitude. So you guys will know how that plays out for you if it does apply. Okay, let's see. The next card talks to me about that part of you that's being grown or expanded right now. What we actually have coming up is that you have reached a place that is either a fight or an argument or just a simple, quiet, subtle stalemate with somebody who's important to you. And right now, you're not seeing how do you get past that stalemate? And so the growth is in figuring out how to cope with this situation without falling to pieces. That's what I'm hearing, without falling to pieces. All right, so the next card talks to me about those things that you stand for. This card is influenced by Mars, so that means you would stand for these things with great enthusiasm and possibly even aggression if you're pushed a little too hard here. It looks like there's actually, looks to me like you've been feeling pretty blue lately, Gemini, and whatever's going on with this particular theme, um, to me it looks like some kind of relationship thing, definitely. But whatever's been going on with this particular theme, I feel like it's making you feel blue. It's really making you depressed. And so what you actually stand for right now is the right to feel depressed if you want to feel depressed, the right to feel blue if you want to feel blue. So if somebody would come up and say, hey, why don't you just smile a little bit more? You're probably going to growl at them and tell them to get lost because in your mind, it's perfectly okay to be feeling the way that you are. It's perfectly justified. So that's what I see you standing for. The next card that comes up talks to me about how other people perceive you. And right now, what I'm feeling like, Gemini, is how other people perceive you is as someone that's kind of going into his or her own shell. I'm kind of being given a picture of like a turtle that's just like shrinking his legs up into the shell and his head and his tail. Some kind of protective. It feels like just emotionally you're going into protection mode right now, or at least that's how other people see you, like you're isolating and you're just protecting yourself. Okay, so the next thing that I'm looking at is the lesson or experience of this theme. And let's see, what do we have here? What's the best way to say what I'm feeling? It seems like you guys are really, those of you this applies to, it seems like for whatever theme that we're talking about here, which to me, like I said, looks like some kind of relationship, whether it's romantic or whether it's a family relationship or a friendship, I don't really know, and I think that may be manifesting differently for many ones of you. But basically, what I'm seeing is that you are having a hard time keeping your eye on the goal here or staying focused on what you want out of this situation. It seems like things are falling apart a little bit around you, and that's really distracting you from looking at what you want. Instead, you're kind of looking more at what you don't want. You're looking more at the negative side of things. And that's kind of the experience that comes through here. Obviously, you don't want to stay in that mode because it sort of holds things in a negative place. But you want to try to find a way to be happy no matter what the situation is. Just something that you can look at that makes you happy, even if it's just some little thing that'll help you get through and move beyond any unhappiness that you're going through. So that's the lesson or experience. And then as we move through to the end of this theme, there's a couple of things going on. First of all, I feel like there's some acceptance happening here. I don't know if you guys get closure on this deal or if you just um, take closure for yourself, if you know what I mean. Like maybe the other person isn't talking to you or sharing anything that would give you closure, but you're able to just bring in that closure and let yourself off the hook even without talking to that other person. So I don't know if you're getting closure from somebody else or if you're just giving yourself closure here, but it looks like you are just accepting that some of the dreams that you had about things that you could do with this other person, whether it's a friend, romantic partner, whatever, that those dreams aren't going to happen with this person. So there's that acceptance coming in, and with that acceptance is coming some healing of the old heartache. So that heartache is starting to melt away a little bit as you come into this place of acceptance. I do see that you are still dealing with somebody here. I do feel like this is probably the person that you had the disagreement with and the one that is that you don't feel like things are working very well with. And this person is somebody who normally thinks things through very logically, but lately they've been really, really emotional, and maybe even emotional enough that just the fact that their emotions are driving them is making them even more emotional. So this is somebody who normally is pretty calm, pretty logical, pretty laid back, but now maybe not so much laid back, but I feel like detail oriented, but now they're being run by emotions, and that's making them a little bit scared and antsy. So I think you can expect this person to be probably pretty grumpy that you're dealing with as you come through into this acceptance and healing of the heart situation that's going on there in April. I wish I had some better things to talk to you about here, because a lot of these cards, it just doesn't, it looks like you're just kind of in a really sad place. But just please remember that time has a way of changing everything. Just because things are not going so good today doesn't mean that they won't go better tomorrow. And in fact, they will, because life does have different cycles. So just remember, anytime that you're not feeling the best, this is temporary, and the best is just around the corner. Okay, so anyway, that is your reading for one of the themes that's coming up for you in April, Gemini. Thank you so much for stopping by, hanging out, liking, sharing, and subscribing, and commenting. I do appreciate all of your support. Everyone have a good month. I will see you back here the next time. Peace out.